All right. A bit later than this than I usually am, but we're here. UFC Fight Night Emmett versus Vellejos is this weekend. So we're going to go through the card, give my predictions of what I think is going to happen. We're starting off with Piera Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. Hold on, let me fix the camera a little bit. I will be going with Piera Rodriguez. Piera beat her last time. She already has a win over Sam Hughes, and she just has better wins. She's coming off of a win to, what's her name? Ketlin Souza, I think. And Sam Hughes is decent, but she just hasn't really been doing. She lost last time, and she just really hasn't been doing anything of the level that Piera Rodriguez has been doing as of recently. So I see no reason to switch picks here and go for Sam Hughes in a rematch. Piera Rodriguez is just going to get it done. Similar way by decision. Very boring fight. That's what it is. Moving on. Elijah Smith versus Soo Young Yu. I'm going Elijah Smith here. Elijah Smith. I mean, don't get me wrong. Soo Young Yu's not bad, but, Elijah Smith is just a better wrestler. Stronger. More powerful. Soo Young Yu arguably did not beat Long Zhao. And this man took AJ Cunningham to a decision. I don't like that because I don't think AJ Cunningham was ever that good. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with Elijah Smith here. I'm very confident that he's better, at least in the grappling enough. I think he'll be able to pretty easily control Soo Young Yu in the grappling. Obviously, his last fight, that nasty slam KO. But to be fair, that opponent is a lot worse than Soo Young Yu, so I don't see anything too crazy from Elijah Smith like that. But I do think he'll get a win. He'll probably get a knockout too at some point. 3 rounds is a lot of rounds to be in there with against Elijah Smith. He's a very dangerous, fighter, and he's very good. So, and I don't think Soo Young is that good. So, someone who's that much better than you with the ability to get finishes, they probably will finish you. So I'm going to go with Elijah Smith by round 2 TKO over Soo Young Yu, whether it's on the feet or ground and pound strikes on the ground. I just see Elijah Smith getting it done. Moving on to Bia Mesquita versus Montse Rendon. Now, I was very proud of my Montserrat Rendon pick in her last fight, because a lot of people were going with, what's her name, Alice Pereira. A lot of people were going with her, new up and coming prospect, this, that. But I was watching tape. I'm like, yo, she's not gonna beat Rendon, man. She's just not. Rendon is a decent female fighter. 7-1 experience. She's been in the UFC many times. She has many fights in the UFC. She's not super young. She has experience. Rendon is not new to this, so she definitely has what it takes to be a good fighter. That being said, I am going to be picking Bia Mesquita here to win this fight. Bia Mesquita is not as inexperienced as Alice Pereira was when she fought Rendon. And on top of that, Bia Mesquita is just a better fighter. Her grappling is truly next level. She's one of the best female grapplers in MMA today. And she's very smart with the way she fights. She's got high fight IQ. Rendon is good. And if you put Rendon in there against an inexperienced girl that might not know exactly what she's doing, she will always beat them, like an Alice Pereira. Anyone like Alice Pereira, Montserrat Rendon will beat them every single time. But Bia Mesquita is above that level. She is truly a good female MMA fighter. She can fight. She's got finishing ability too, which is rare amongst WMMA in general. So just for that alone, Rendon has got 1 or 2 finishes tops, I think. I haven't checked since I did the prediction for her last fight, but I think that's right. If I'm wrong, then just ignore it. But Bia Mesquita is really good. And what exactly happened in her last fight? Bia Mesquita beat Irina Alekseeva by submission in round 2. That's right. And Irina Alekseeva, man, she's not a pushover, man. She is borderline, if you know what I'm saying. So, you know, I am going to go with Bia Mesquita by submission here as well. I think she's going to get a submission. I think she's going to get it in the second round again. It's hard to get finishes in the first round because you're still feeling each other out. But when the second round comes around, Bia Mesquita has felt you out for 5 minutes. She can go in there and then she can do what she wants with you. I really do have very high hopes, very high expectations for Bia Mesquita in the UFC. So we'll see if my expectations come true, and we'll see if she ends up being who I think she can be. But yeah, I'm going Bia Mesquita by round 2 submission. Rendon's good, but she just doesn't have the overall game, I think. Not the overall game, but she doesn't have the skills in specific areas. I don't think she has the grappling to defend the takedowns. She might be a better striker than Bia Mesquita, but I don't think her grappling is anywhere near the level of Bia, so she's going to get this one done, Bia Mesquita, by submission round 2. Moving on to Luan Lacerda versus Hector Sosa. I mean, guys, let's be real here. Hector Sosa got that tattoo of Dana White's quote or whatever on his arm, right? That was him. And because he did that, I'm sure Dana White already likes him, and so they gave him an absolute layup. Luan Lacerda is complete dog shit. He is not UFC level. Luan has no good wins. Simon Oliveira. Didn't he beat Simon Oliveira? Simon Oliveira is genuinely one of the worst bantamweights of all time. And he lost to Cody Stamann. That's icky. Lost to Damon Blackshear as well, which is not as bad, but Damon Blackshear has proven that he is not the prospect we thought he was going to be at one point. Luan Lacerda has just never done anything significant in the UFC, and Hector Sosa had I think he had a nasty finish on the Contender Series recently, right? And he's just a bit more trustworthy, I think. He's stronger, more power, the ability to grapple. His grappling is better. Just a overall better game. And I mean, Luan Lacerda is not UFC level. Hector Sosa might not be either, but he also might be. We got to see how he performs his first few fights, but yeah, I'm going Hector Sosa. I'm going Hector Sosa by KO. Moving on to Balaji Oki versus Manol Souza. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I don't have all the time in the world to, research fights, especially since I had a job change since the beginning of this year. I haven't done anything on Manol Souza. I don't know who this guy is. 13-1. I think he beat Mauricio Huffy a few years ago. Just from hearing his name around. I don't know of anything else he's done. I think he lost recently to an undefeated guy. So that's not too bad. He's undefeated. I'm going to go with Balaji Oki, just simply based on the fact that I just don't know enough about Manol Souza. And I do know about Balaji Oki. He's got some power in his hands. Lost to Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan's good. He has a main event coming up. Lost to Mason Jones, right? Mason Jones is good. So, it's not like Balaji Oki's out here losing to bums, you know? I'm not saying that Manol Souza's a bum, but I'm just not going to trust him. Because I don't know enough. So, I am going to go with Balaji Oki. I'm going to just go decision. Because 13-1, he's probably hard as fuck to finish. So, I'm going to go with Balaji Oki by decision. Moving on to Chris Curtis versus Mike Tebek Orobly. I have no fucking idea who's going to win this fight. Welterweight. I'm going to go Mike Tebek Orobly. And the fact that this is happening at welterweight is probably why. Chris Curtis was a decent middleweight at times. Never anything too crazy. but he always had the ability to look good. But he came down to welterweight in his last fight, and I think I was actually there for it live. Didn't Chris Curtis fight not Chris Griffin. I was gonna say Forrest Griffin. Max Griffin in Nashville, yeah? Wait. Isn't that what happened? That is exactly what happened. Yep. Okay. He did fight him in Nashville. I was there live in the crowd, and I watched it back too. Chris Curtis looked like dog shit. If you are going to fight Max Griffin in 2025, you should beat him a lot better than he did. I'm sorry. Mike the Beck oral by would slime out Max Griffin in a round and a half at max. 2 rounds, no chance he's surviving Max Griffin. No. Mike the Beck oral by is slamming him out in a round and a half at max. Mike the Beck oral by is coming off of a sliming of Jack Hermanson, who came down to welterweight. Oral by is going to make a statement here against Chris Curtis. He's probably going to knock Chris Curtis out. I'm going to say round 2, probably. I like round 2 finishes, man. But I'm going to go Mike the Beck oral by finish. I don't know by knock or sub, but by finish, whatever it means. Chris Curtis tends to be hard to grapple, so he could get a KO here. But I'm sorry, but Chris Curtis, you had a very sorry performance over Max Griffin. And then you got TKO'd against Roman Kopylov in your fight prior to that, I think. Just not an impressive career as of late for Chris Curtis. And I feel like Mike the Beck oral by, with his overall game, dude, Michael Beck oral by is really good. He is mainly a grappler. He's got some good grappling, takedown, submission game is tight. But like I said, Chris Curtis is hard to grapple. He's hard to take down. So, you know, he's probably not going to have that much success grappling Chris Curtis, but oral by could probably find some success on the feet. Chris Curtis does train with Sean Strickland, so they're always training, always sparring hard. So Chris Curtis can be somewhat hard to touch on the chin as well because his defense is really good because he comes from that gym. He's not as good as Sean Strickland, not nearly as good as Sean Strickland, so that's why I believe he can lose here. I just feel like Mike the Beck oral by has some power in his hands at welterweight. He's fought at lightweight, but at welterweight, I feel like oral by has got some power and some real power in his hands too. So, and I just think Chris Curtis is not as good as he used to be, entering the worst part of his career. Mike the Beck oral by has probably not even reached his best. So, I think Mike the Beck oral by has a very bright future, whereas for Chris Curtis, I think his future is going to be very dim and dark and, you know, lots of losses. So I'm going to go Mike the Beck oral by. I'll go decision. I'll go decision. Chris Curtis is quite hard to finish, typically. So I will go by decision. Brad Tavares versus Eric Anders. I will never in my life pick Eric Anders in a fight unless he is fighting Anthony Trucoli. That is the only time I will ever pick Eric Anders. Does that look like Antonio Trucoli? No, it does not. Therefore, I'm going Brad Tavares, who has not had a good career as of late himself. But, you know, he's better than Eric Anders. So, Eric Anders is a Muay Thai kind of fighter, but it sucks. Can't strike for shit. He's got no power. Takedown defense sucks. His durability sucks. Brad Tavares has got some hands on him. I know he loses a lot, and he's quite chinny as well. His durability kind of sucks. But This is going to be a stand-up fight, I think. I don't see Brad Tavares shooting many takedowns because I think he can dust Eric Anders up on the feet quite easily. And I think once Brad Tavares gets in there and him and Eric Anders start exchanging some blows, I think Brad's going to realize not only can I take this man's punches, but he's looking like he can't really take mine. And Brad Tavares is going to really gain in confidence, and he's going to smoke Eric Anders out. I'm going to say in the first round. He's going to smoke Eric Anders out in the first round because Eric Anders is awful. One of the worst fighters in UFC history. Brad Tavares used to be really good. The case with Brad Tavares is he used to be really good. He sucks now, but he used to be really good. It's changed for him. Eric Anders has never been good. He's never really shown an instance of being good ever. So you got to go Brad Tavares, man. Eric Anders is one of those guys that are on a list of mine where I will never pick them unless they prove me wrong. You know, those kind of fighters like Cheeto Vera is on that list, you know? But Brad Tavares, his hands are better, he's faster, he's got more pop. He's just got better boxing, you know? I don't really need to say any more, man. This is Eric Anders. Eric Anders is going to do what he does best and get smoked out. So, Brad Tavares wins. Moving on to Vitor Petrino versus Steven Asplund. I've been going back and forth on this one because, guys, let's be real. Truth be told, Vitor Petrino is a really good heavyweight. He's always in shape. He's strong. He is a grappler at base. Heavyweights really lack grappling as a whole. So when you get somebody like Vitor Petrino who can grapple really well and he's in good physical shape, by default, he's a really good heavyweight. And he's going to be hard to beat in this division. But Steven Asplund is such a good striker, man. He is such a good and dangerous, powerful striker. His hands, his technique when he's throwing it is beautiful for a heavyweight. Steven Asplund is genuinely one of the best strikers in the heavyweight division. And he's worked so hard to get to this position. Showed very good skills the way here. Mental capacity, strength. I mean, I don't know too much about Steven Asplund's defensive grappling other than the fact that he got submitted on the regionals by... What's that dude that just lost to Josh Hockett? I can't remember his name at the moment, but you guys know who I'm talking about. He got TKO'd by a middle finger against Josh Hockett recently. I know his name, it's just not coming to my mind, but that dude submitted Steven Asplund, which is a really bad look. I don't like that for Steven Asplund at all, because I don't think that guy is good, and Vitor Petrino is definitely better than him. But I feel like I can trust in the evolution of Steven Asplund since then. I'm going to trust in Steven Asplund to get this one done. I'm going to go Steven Asplund. I'm going to go Steven Asplund by KO in round 3. Vitor Petrino is probably going to win the first round. He's probably going to go out there. He's probably going to get a takedown on Steven Asplund. And he's probably going to be looking like he's getting some subs. He's chasing some subs. But Steven Asplund has been working a whole camp for this, you know? He's been working on this and on his grappling. And truth be told, maybe I'd go Vitor Petrino if it wasn't for his last fight. But I really didn't like his performance before the KO versus... God, what's this guy's name? Thomas Peterson. Thomas Peterson is genuine dog shit. And I think Steven Asplund would smoke him out cold in the first round. I'm not worried about the striking exchanges here. I think Steven Asplund is going to handle the striking very easily, one-sided, over Vitor Petrino, in my opinion. Vitor is slow. He is powerful, but he's quite slow. And he's quite chinnable, I think. And his IQ is awful as well. Stuck his head in a guillotine and lost to Anthony Smith. I won't forgive you for losing to Anthony Smith. And what was it? Was that in 2025 or 24? Regardless, it's an unforgivable loss. Then he goes out there and gets smoked by Dustin Jacoby. To be fair, Dustin Jacoby is good. Very underrated light heavyweight he is. But he got smoked by him. And I think Steven Asplin's got more power than Dustin Jacoby. Whether he's a better striker technically or not, I just think Steven Asplin has the technical ability. And he's got way more power than Dustin Jacoby. And I think if he touches that chin of Vitor enough times, which I do think he will, I do think he'll be able to put Vitor out. Vitor probably will take him down a few times, will control him. But Steven Asplin's going to survive, I think. I'm trusting in his progression as a fighter. But just the fight IQ, the losses, I don't want to trust Vitor Petrino. And if he is a good heavyweight, and win or lose, Vitor Petrino will probably still be a very successful heavyweight. I think both these guys will. So it's going to be a good fight. I could see both winning. This could be a step too far for Steven Asplin at this point up. But I want to trust in Steven Asplin. I like him. I like his game. I think he's good. We'll just see what he's got. I'm going to go Steven Asplin round 3 KO. Moving on to the main card. Charles Johnson versus Bruno Silva. I'm going to go Charles Johnson. I'm going to go Charles Johnson by KO. Now, I never picked Charles Johnson. I picked him to lose like every fight. I picked him to lose to Joshua Van, Lona Kavanaugh, all these fights that he ended up, winning. I always pick against Charles Johnson. And I finally, for the fucking first time ever, I picked him to beat Alex Perez. Just simply based off the fact that I was tired of picking him to lose and he keeps winning. And then he goes out there and fucking gets smoked in the first round by Alex Perez. But I do think Alex Perez would also beat Bruno Silva. Now, Bruno Silva is decently good. He's got some skills. He just loses too much. He's just so fucking easy to beat. Beats Cody Durden, but Cody Durden was looking good in that fight, which I don't like because Cody Durden sucks. Got dominated by both Van and Manel Kape, but those are both championship level fighters in the division, so I don't want to hold those up against him too much. But he's 15-7, been in the UFC a while, has a lot of losses. Let's kind of look through his career real quick. I'll move my camera so you guys can have a better look. He did beat Park, which I rated Park. I actually picked Park to win this fight. I actually rated Park quite heavily. He actually kind of dominated Park, so that was a good performance, man. A really good performance that shook me. Lost to Joshua Van, dominant. Lost to Manel Kape, dominant. Beat Cody Durden in a fight that Durden was looking good in moments. Beat Tyson Nam. Tyson Nam was decent, man. People do forget about Tyson Nam. He was a decent fighter, so that's a good win right there. And then beat Rodriguez. Beat JP Buys, who doesn't beat JP Buys. Lost to Tagir Ulanbekov. I don't think Tagir Ulanbekov is all that. I think Charles Johnson would beat Tagir Ulanbekov, to be honest with you. I think he'd smoke him. Lost to David Dvorak. That's a shitty loss, you know? He has some good wins, but mostly bad losses in the UFC. The dude is quite beatable. And, you know, when you look at the career of Charles Johnson, I mean, look at as much as I dislike Charles Johnson, look at some of these names on here. A loss over Perez, but hold on, look, it's a KO win over Lona Kavanaugh. Dude just beat Brandon Moreno. KO win, a loss to Temirov, but Temirov is good. Temirov really is good, so I'm not going to hold him super accountable for that. Beat Sumadarji. Like, we see the run Sumadarji's going on. Sumadarji is good. Beat Sumadarji, you know. KO win over the champion, Joshua Van. You know, beat Jake Hadley. Like, these, you know, beat Azat Maxim, you know. Lost to Estevam. Estevam's a decent prospect, you know. lost to Cody Durden. See, here's where we get to some of those in his career. Lost to O'Day Osborne. Charles Johnson, what are we doing here? Beat Jimmy Flick. Beat Zhumajulov. Lost to Muhammad Mokaev. Man, both of these guys have such weird fucking careers. But I think Charles Johnson is much more trustable here, man. You know? Much better finishing ability on the feet. Bruno Silva's better on the ground, but I don't see him controlling Charles Johnson on the ground. I just think, Charles Johnson is probably going to win. Just a bit better. Long range. Yet let's not forget this. Dude, Bruno Silva's a short fuck. I'm kind of mad at myself now. I don't even know why I went through this whole rant trying to justify it. Bruno Silva is fucking 5'4", and Charles Johnson he's not 5'9". He's like 5'10", 5'11". He's so much taller. He's going to smoke him out cold. This is going to be an easy fight for Charles Johnson. Went through this whole rant just to say, oh, he's fucking 5'4", man. He's not going to fucking beat Charles Johnson. Are you kidding me? Charles Johnson wins by KO round 3 as well. Moving on. Marwan Rahiki versus Harry Hardwick. One of the easiest fights in the card to predict. Marwan Rahiki is going to smoke Harry Hardwick. Absolutely run through him. He's just better. Simple. He's faster. Better boxing. Better kicks. Better knees. Better elbows. Better power in his hands. Better finishing instincts. Harry Hardwick is probably better in absolutely no facet of MMA to Marwan Rahiki. Maybe a better grappler. Let's be real. But Marwan Rahiki, his chin sucks. Durability is horrible, but Harry Hardwick is simply just not the guy to test that. No matter how bad Marwan Rahiki's chin is, I don't think Harry Hardwick, I don't think he's got the pop in his hand to drop a flyweight, dog. Marwan Rahiki should be okay here in terms of his chin's durability, and he should be able to eat anything coming his way and dish out. Harry Hardwick sucks. Neither of the Hardwick bros are UFC level. He's gonna get his leg chewed out again. Even though, oh God, what's dude's name? The former soccer player that Harry Hardwick lost to in his debut with the leg kicks. His name, it'll come to me. Even though Marwan Rahiki don't have those kind of low kicks, he's still got good low kicks of his own. I just think he's gonna go out there and be too much in every way, every facet of MMA against Harry Hardwick. I am going knockout for Marwan Rahiki. Knockout in round 2 after a dominant first round. He's gonna smoke Harry Hardwick, and Harry Hardwick is gonna get released from the UFC. That's just what it is. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know why this fight's on here. You have a London card coming up here very soon, later this month. You could have had this fight on there, man. You know, because it's like, let's be real here. I mean, Harry Hardwick is British, man. You know, but whatever, dude. Moving on. Andre Fili versus Jose Miguel Delgado. I'm gonna put something on real quick. Damn it, man. All right, here we go. I am gonna go with Jose Miguel Delgado very confidently. Unfortunately, as a massive touchy-feely fan, it pains me to say this, but I think Jose Miguel Delgado is going to knock him out cold in like 2 to 3 minutes. I don't think Andre Fili has the durability for it anymore. And Jose Miguel Delgado is probably going to go on to be one of the better finishers in this entire division. Very huge and massive for the featherweight division. He's super tall, super just big, very powerful. I think personally, yeah, I think he beat Nathaniel Wood. I didn't like that decision. I didn't agree with it. However, it was a very close fight. But I'm telling you what, right now, if Jose Miguel Delgado drops Andre Fili is not getting the fuck back up. Andre Fili was KO'd not too long ago by Dan Ige. Now, Dan Ige does have some power in his hands, and he is a good boxer. But Dan Ige is very exposable. He's quite beatable, you know, to just competent fighters in general. And Andre Fili got absolutely flatlined in the first round by him. His chin isn't there. Jose Miguel Delgado is simply just too dangerous to be in there with. His hands are nasty. He's got knees, elbows. He's got kicks. He's got everything. He's got the grappling. There's really nothing he doesn't have. Now, he was also dropped by Nathaniel Wood, and I don't think Nathaniel Wood is that hard of a hitter. I think Andre Fili might hit harder than Nathaniel Wood, in my opinion. So, Andre Fili can present some chinning problems or some knockdown issues to Jose Miguel Delgado as well. But I think Nathaniel Wood's a lot more durable than Andre Fili. So I think once the knockdown happens for Jose Delgado, Andre Fili is not getting back up to his feet, is what I think. So, Andre Fili is good. He is very good. I'm not saying that he's going to lose this fight because, he's just not on the level of Jose Delgado. That's not true at all. It's just the durability issue. I just think Jose hits too hard, and he's going to chin Andre Fili out cold early as hell. 2 to 3 minutes, so that's what I'm going to go with. Andre Fili's good, though. I think he's coming off a win against C-Rod, right? Yeah, coming off a win against C-Rod. That was impressive because I actually picked C-Rod to beat him. So I was very happy to see Andre Fili get that win. But Jose Miguel Delgado, man. I do think Andre Fili might have a grappling edge here as well. If this ends up on the ground a lot, I do think Andre Fili's probably going to get the better of that. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Andre Fili is a very underrated grappler. He's got hands, too. Dude, Andre Fili's good, man. And he is the kind of fighter to pull off a fucking fight like this, but durability has shown me something different, so. Jose Miguel Delgado, KO, round 1. Extra bonus, first 2 to 3 minutes. Moving on to Ion Cutelaba versus Omar Sy. People forget, man. Ion Cutelaba is genuinely really good. I'm joking, but what I'm not joking about at all is it really is true that Ion Cutelaba at times in his career in very small windows has shown glimpses of brilliance in that fucking cage, man. I swear Ion Cutelaba could have been something so special had something just changed in his life or his career. I really do think Cutelaba could have been something so fucking special. I don't know what the issue with him is, but he's just very beatable. And Omar Sy, 12-1. He lost to Alonzo Menifield, right? Yes, yeah. So he beat Tuco Tokos. Congratulations. An absolute layup. And then he beat Jung. I don't know who this guy is. Lost to Alonzo Menifield. Alonzo Menifield is a very hard guy to beat if you're a grappler. I'm just going to keep it real. Alonzo Menifield is up there with some of the best anti-grappling in the entire sport. Despite sucking ass, it's crazy how great he is at defending grappling. So, not too bad of a loss as a grappler to have. Grapplers just don't beat Alonzo Menifield. I'm going to keep it real with you. Beat Brenton Hibero as well by KO in the first round. That's decent. Now, Brenton Hibero is very easy to beat. Very chinnable. You know? I don't really know who to pick here, you know. Because Ion Cutelaba is quite hard to grapple as well. Typically. Lost to Modestas Bukauskas. But he beat Ibo Aslan. Beat Urslan as well. Lost to Felipe Lins, who's going to get smoked out by Francis Ngannou here soon, unfortunately for him. Beat Tanner Boser. Lost to Canadian Zechiku. This might be a retarded take, my worst pick on the card, but I'm probably going to go Ion Cutelaba. Now, this could be dumb. I actually was leaning towards Omar Sy. I was leaning towards Omar Sy like the entire build-up. But just looking at him now, just looking at the both of them now, and remembering their fights, how their fights played out, I just feel like Ion Cutelaba was going to be a bit too much on the feet. And Omar Sy is a really good grappler. But Ion Cutelaba is not the easiest to grapple. You know? Not Alonzo Menifield level hard to grapple, but, you know, better than a fucking, much better than a Brenson Ribeiro, you know? Like, Ion Cutelaba would smoke Brenson Ribeiro, you know what I'm saying, as well. God, this might be a horrible take, but I'm going to go Ion Cutelaba. He has, despite the amount of losses he has, Ion Cutelaba really has shown me a decent bit in the UFC, and just in terms of how he's able to perform. And I always want to trust him, man. There's something about Ion Cutelaba, I really always want to trust him as a fighter. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It really is a flip of the coin with Ion Cutelaba. But I'm going to go Ion Cutelaba. I'm going by decision as well. Umar Sy is never been finished, so I'm going to go Ion Cutelaba by decision. And both of them will probably have a knockdown, let's be real. Moving on to the co-main event, Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. I have been a massive Jillian Robertson fan since like 2019 or something like that. When it comes to WMMA, Jillian Robertson is really one of the more entertaining ones. She takes people down. She usually brutalizes them, gets nasty submissions or ground and pound TKO. She makes people bleed. That's something too. Like she is quite of a nasty fighter in there, and I really love Amanda Lemos. I've been a big Amanda Lemos fan as well. The amount of KO she has. These are two women finishers. That's one thing about this fight, is that this is a fight of finishers here. And like I said earlier, a finisher in WMA is quite rare. Appreciate them when they fight. Amanda Lemos, knockout artist. Jillian Robertson, submission artist. I'm gonna go with Jillian Robertson though. Amanda Lemos really impressed me with her grappling in her last fight against, why do I keep forgetting names? Tatiana Suarez, of course. She really impressed me with her fight against Tatiana Suarez. She was able to actually get up, hurt Tatiana Suarez on the feet. Some people thought she should have won that. I don't know. I never rewatched it. I just feel like Jillian Robertson's grappling is so damn good, man. She's got a record. What's the record? Is it most takedowns in UFC history as a woman, or is it most control time? Something like that. Jillian Robertson has something. She has some kind of record with grappling, and she is a really good grappler. And Amanda Lemos has she's had troubles with grapplers in the past, you know? Losing to, getting dominated by Verna Jandaroba and submitted. I think Jillian Robertson's submission ability is better than Verna Jandaroba. You know, Amanda Lemos putting all that damage on Mackenzie Dern and still being controlled a bit by Mackenzie Dern. You know, like, Amanda Lemos really has had issues with grapplers in the past. And I just think that Jillian Robertson is probably one of the better ones she's ever fought. And nasty, too. Jillian Robertson throws elbows. She cuts you open. She makes you bleed. She makes you pay. You know? Amanda Lemos is good, and she's much better on the feet. And if this fight has any prolonged striking exchanges. Amanda Lemos can put Jillian Robertson out cold, but Jillian Robertson is smart, man. And she was able to beat the shit out of Michelle Waterson Gomez, known for her incredible takedown defense, you know? So that was quite impressive. I think Jillian Robertson is going to get a submission here over Amanda Lemos. She's probably going to get hurt on the feet, rocked on the feet early, get the takedown, and ride out the rest of the round. Round 2, she comes out, gets a takedown early, smashing Amanda Lemos in with elbows. They scramble, and in the scramble, Jillian Robertson takes the back and chokes her out. I can see Lemos winning this, though, but I'm going to lean Jillian Robertson only because I've really believed in her for years, bro. I'm talking like pre-pandemic era. I've believed in Jillian Robertson. And she hasn't done much but prove me right so far. Very good grappler. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Jillian Robertson. Moving on to the main event of the evening. Our boy Josh Emmett will be fighting us in the main event, Kevin Vellejos. We will smoke Josh Emmett out cold. We will put Josh Emmett's lights out. I'm going with Kevin Vellejos by brutal knockout round 2. 2 or 3. Josh Emmett's only been KO'd like once or twice in his entire career. No more than twice, but definitely once. At least. Josh Emmett is very good, but he is very old. I believe this is the largest age gap in main event history with 18 years, I think. Josh Emmett, 43? 42, 43? Kevin Vellejos, are their ages just right here? No, they're not. All right. But yeah, Kevin Vellejos is just going to be too good of a striker. He's too good of a striker. He's got too much power. If you guys watched his fight with Gene Silva, you know that was an absolutely incredible fight. Putting hands on each other, hurting each other. Gene Silva won, but that's the only loss on Kevin Vellejos' record. And Kevin Vellejos is kind of like an Ilia Topuria of the featherweight division now that he's gone. This is the new Ilia Topuria. And Josh Emmett hasn't gotten any better since losing to Ilia Topuria, in my opinion. Just got done dirty by another Moroccan fighter. God, I always have such a hard time remembering names when I'm recording. If I wasn't recording, I would already have the name. Yusuf Zalal. Just got done dirty by Yusuf Zalal. Got submitted in like a minute, maybe less than a minute. And Kevin Vellejos just chinned Giga Chikadze for the first time in Giga's career. Giga Chikadze is a much better striker than Josh Emmett. Let me not push it. He is a better striker than Josh Emmett, but Josh Emmett does have some hands. And in my opinion, Josh Emmett's the most powerful featherweight of all time. Raw power, I do think he has more power than Ilia Topuria. He just doesn't have nearly the boxing that Ilia has, which definitely aids his KOs. But Josh Emmett hits so hard, man. But I just think that Kevin Vellejos is very tough. I just think his striking is just too good. And Josh Emmett typically is not an offensive grappler. He will do it every now and then. But Kevin Vellejos can defend a takedown or two. So, it's just one of those things where it's going to be a stand-up fight. And Kevin Vellejos, the younger guy, 24 I think he is. Too quick, too young, too good, I think. I think his striking is fucking incredible. His boxing is ridiculous. And his power is otherworldly. Spinning back fist KO'd Giga Chikadze. He's very unique in his style. Josh Emmett's he's crossed that line, man. He's done in his career. Let's just call it what it is. This could be Josh Emmett's last ever fight. He might retire after this because he's getting chinned. This isn't going 5 rounds. He's getting chinned. And he's also not going to beat Kevin Vellejos. I don't see it. You know? So I'm gonna go Kevin Vellejos by KO. He's incredible, man. He's incredible. I'm going Kevin Vellejos KO round 2. All right, I'm gonna hop off here. 45 minutes so far. Yeah, I'm hop off here, get this video uploaded, and yeah, I'll see you guys for the fights. After the fights, I haven't been doing recap videos often, but I've been very busy. We'll see if I can get around to it here. I was gonna make a video about the White House card and all those new fight announcements. I still might if it's not too late. We'll see how busy I get. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about my predictions. Yeah, hopefully we go undefeated on this card, man. Actually, no, I hope we don't, because there's some people I picked to lose that I want to win. So, but we'll see. Moving on. I appreciate you guys, and I'm about to hop out of here. Thank you.